All right, good morning. Day number 17. We're here, day number 17. And I'm feeling really confident today. I'm feeling really confident that the audio is going to work, that the video is going to work. And I just say that, and my audio is peaking already. Oh, man. As you know, I've had some technical issues this last week. And yesterday, I spent the whole day in here tinkering. And as you can see, not just tinkering with the live stream stuff, but tinkering with the studio as well. I've got the desk up a bit higher so you can see a bit more of the desk. You can see my notes everywhere, my coffee. It's really cool. I want to have a bit more fun with this. So I'm actually going to get a coffee mug with the logo on it, and you can see here this is one that my son made for me out of clay, which was really exciting. So I told him that on the live stream I would show that. So that's really purely selfish to show that to you. Um, Alrighty, today we're going to talk about differential focus. Okay, so differential focus is if we think about when you look at a scene in the distance. Oh, hang on a sec. I got something else cool to show you. Look at this. Boom. I have a side camera. How cool's that? Now, there is a way in this system that I'm using that it can alternate. So for 30 seconds, go there, 30 seconds, go there. I had a bit of a play with it, and it just freaked me out because I was talking there and didn't realize that I don't have red lights like in the TV studios. So it's go, okay, now look here, now look there. So when I looked at myself at the screen, it was like, where am I looking? So that'll take a bit of practice, but I'm trying to bring this to the next level for you with the production and value. That's what I'm here to do, is bring you value. So day 17 of these 30 days. From Shane, hello from the UK. G'day, Shane. I'm working today. Thank you for your patience with all my technical issues, but we're getting there. Alrighty, so differential focus. So if you can imagine yourself uh, where the distance, you can see into the distance, right? Our eyes are amazing at focusing, some better than others. Mine are not fantastic. I wear contacts every day. But things that are further away become out of focus, don't they? And inside my course, Blurry to Tack Sharp Focus 4-step system, I talk about atmospheric conditions. So this is why bird photographers get out in the morning when there's less stuff in the sky, less light coming through air particles. And the further you look into the distance, and bird photography, a lot of that is distant photography, the further you look through the distance, the more particles in the air that we need to try and navigate. Now, polarizing lenses are fantastic to get rid of the polar light rays, but time of day is the best one. That said, what that does is that gives us the perception of depth and distance in our photos. When you can see the mountain range in the distance is contrast, low contrast, it's a bit milky, a bit washy. What that does is it gives that impression. Now in side camera, now in editing, you can actually go in there and selectively darken and add some contrast and bring that out. It can look a little bit flat, but it can also it can also add the perception of sharpness is what I'm trying to get at. So where there's less contrast and it's a bit milky, it doesn't look very sharp. But what we're going to do today is we're going to make things out of focus in the distance. And my favorite app that I want to show you is After Focus. Now it's like $2.99, like less than the price of a cup of coffee. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up. I haven't actually opened up a photo in there yet, because believe it or not, I had some technical issues before we started. So it's good fun, all good fun. All right, so I'll bring up a photo that I've captured lately. There's one that I can share. Okay, let's go with this one. Just waiting for it to download. Okay, just realized one of the issues, not an issue, one of the considerations when using this app is that it only works in vertical, which is a bit of a pain, isn't it? I like apps that you can see a lot more of it. So I'm going to have to bring up another side-by-side screen. Okay, there we go. That's not going to work. Let's try another one here. Okay, because the side-by-side screen there that I was going to show you doesn't actually show the controls because it's too narrow. Okay, I'll go that one. And I just need to change the position of the midway point. It's working beautifully, isn't it? Failing this, if this doesn't work, what I will do is I will show you Snapseed, because Snapseed is fantastic as well. Alright, so one, bang, bang. Nearly there. Perfect. There we go. Oh, gone around the wrong way. Try that again. I've got the right thing. So A is me. There we go. All right. Now it's a little bit small on the screen, but that's okay. I'm going to talk you through this and explain to you what happens here. Well, I've got that bit on the bottom there. Why don't I share that? Because I've got that space there. So that's the club. That's where you join the club, get access to all my free tutorials, all my latest podcast episodes, the free course, PDFs, everything that I give away for free on my website is all in that central repository, and I have a forum in there, which is fantastic as well. Alrighty, so this is After Focus. Now I will bring up the little icon for it so that you know which one I'm talking about. There it is, cover up mine. So After Focus, this is the app. Now it's available on Android, the Google Play Store, and also the App Store for iPhone users. Like I said, $2.99, something like that, really cheap. Now the first time you open up this app, it actually has a really good tutorial, probably better than what I'm going to explain it to. In the tutorial, it shows you how to use the tools. But while I'm here, I've been using this for a while, so it didn't come up for me. Now, you can see in this photo that I already naturally have that layering that we talked about yesterday, where we have a foreground, a middle ground, and a background. So here the foreground is the flower. Then we have the leaves at the top, are kind of the middle ground, so they're behind the flower, and then we've got the background. Now, because I was relatively close to this flower, that background became blurred. So that's not portrait mode, that's just my positioning, that subject to lens distortion happening there. Alright, so there's three tools here. One is you select the main area, the focus area. Then you select, alright, mid, I'm going to put that leaf in there. Any other leaves? Yep, that's all good. Okay, zoom back out. Next we do the next button. From Robin, hi from Sydney, sound good today. Oh, awesome. G'day Sally, hello, welcome back. That's such a relief to hear that it sounds good today. And the audio is working, the video is working. This is such a relief. I've spent all day in here tinkering, playing around with lots of different things. And so that's really cool. It's all right, so we've done that. We've pressed the next. And we tap on blur, and we can adjust the blur strength here. Let's go to the extreme. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Now, it does look like it's been copied and pasted on there, and you can see there the leaf behind we missed. So we're going to go back to mid, and we'll do this behind here because it went completely out of focus. So zoom in. There we go. All right, go next. That looks better. I just saw there's some more leaves on the other side. So go back and mid. We'll just tap in there. Oh, I selected focus, so wrong one. Eraser, mid, swapping the leaf there. There we go. All right, beautiful. Okay, so blur strength we want to bring back a bit. Notice the other one there, motion blur. That's really cool. I did a tutorial on how to make a stationary car look like it was driving. And I used the radial blur for the wheels using PixArt app. And then I used this one here, motion blur, to make the whole background look like it's moving across. It's really cool. All right, so that's the main one I use inside here in After Focus. The other one I use here, Aperture. Don't worry about it. Okay, Aperture. basically the blur, you can change the shapes of it. Anything other than circle kind of looks a bit fake in my opinion. So the other one down the bottom there, fading background. Now they brought this in about 2 years ago, just under 2 years ago. It's awesome. Now it probably won't work with this one, but let's tap on it, fading background. Okay, so natural. And what it does, and I'll go manual to show you. What it does, you can see there, it has two lines. So one is where it's in focus, and then it goes out of focus. So you can see there that it blends. Okay, so it's a gradation there from gradation. I think it's gradation. Correct me if I'm wrong. Has the line there, and you just hold your finger on there. Once you hold your finger on there, you can then move it. Okay, and we can move it like that. So what this replicates is that atmospheric or tonal perspective that I was talking about, where everything in front of you is in focus, and then further along it goes out of focus. What I love about this cool feature here is that the way a camera works, not computational background blur, but a real lens, a mirrorless, I'm reluctant to say a real camera, but that's what it is, a real camera, a big camera, a mirrorless or SLR. They have this thing called depth of field, and depth of field is where you have, and this is where differential focus comes into it as well. Depth of field is where prior to the subject it's focused, then you have out of focus, and then you have your point where the subject is, and that focus plane where it's in focus for a distance, and then past that it's out of focus again. So our smartphones in outdoors, everything's in focus unless we start moving elements, foreground elements in closer, or we tap the screen, that sort of thing. There's different ways around it. With generally speaking, walk out the front door, click, everything's going to be in focus. But with a SLR or mirrorless, depending on what lens you're using, and there's so many other technical factors I won't go into, but you have this area that, and this shows it in this screen here. So you have that red where it's in focus. So in front of it is out of focus, past it is out of focus. So this is really cool because you can actually say, okay, this distance, I want this in focus. Okay, so we'll tap on the tick, and then I want it out of focus. And let's go to the blur strength just to really highlight it. How cool is that? Now this is not the right photo for it because you can't have the bottom of the flower out of focus, the middle in focus, the top out of focus. It's not a great one to show you here, but it's a great feature. All right, so that's that one. Do you want to have a look at how I do it in Snapseed? I'm pretty sure you do. All right, so what I'll do is I'll bring this back to me while I open up Snapseed. Okay. All right, switch that around again. Switch it around again. Keep spinning. Keep spinning. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Now, all right. So we're inside Snapseed. Now, this is a photo locally near me, the Yuyangs. It's an amazing state park. And this is a photo that I use in that course that I was talking about, the blurry to tack sharp, blurry to tack sharp photos, 4-step system. Because you know me, I love a systematic approach to things. I'm a systems person. And so the reason why this photo is really good is because there's lots of texture here, lots of details, and the camera did a good job picking it up, but you can really crunch it and make it really look really good. So how about I digress, and I'll show you quickly how to do that, but then using the same tool, I'll show you how we blur the background. All right, so we go into the pencil, and up at the top row, the second one, we have details. Okay, tap on the adjust icon in the center there, and we've got two options here. We've got structure, where it looks for things like lines in the road, those that I think they're canola, the wheat, whatever it is, the plants, grass. There's contrast there, so there's light and dark. So it picks up structure picks up those differences, that contrast between light and dark, and makes it bigger, the difference. So on the edges, it'll darken and lighten. So yeah, it can look really grungy, and I'll show you why. Because have a look at the sky when I do this. Look how grungy that goes. Now, oops, go away. Someone in the house has just put their AirPods in. Alrighty, so you can see there it's gone really grungy, which is fantastic. But the sky's not great. So what I want to do is press on the tick, okay, and I'll go into the history icon up the top there. Stacks, goes by different names. View edits, and this is where now I can go in and either bin that process, go, you know what, didn't work, get rid of it, or I can readjust, or the middle one there is I can finger paint and I can apply exactly where I want that to go. So let's do that. And by default, it goes back to the before, and then we can swipe with our finger exactly where we want. Okay, 100% for there, and we'll go to 50% for the road, the path, dirt track. Okay, all right, so that's looking really good. So I didn't apply that to there. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this back to the topic of the day, and that's the differential focus. So I'm going to do that again. Pencil, details. This time, go into structure. This time, and this is so cool, I'm going to go negative value. What do you think's the reverse of sharpening? What do you think the reverse is? Now, I know there's like a 40-second delay, so I'm going to anticipate you're going to answer in the comments and keep moving on. Otherwise, we're just going to sit here for 45 seconds, which would just be kind of boring, wouldn't it? So structure is negative. So we're going negative. So we're going to blur it. And look at that. That just blurred everything. So there's our before and there's our after. Now the sky looks amazing, which is really cool. The yu-yangs, okay, the yu-yangs, we've lost that contrast. Okay, it's blurred a bit. And like I said at the very start when I was talking about things further away, you have atmospheric conditions that make it look milky. So we've deliberately made that look a bit milky and further away. Now, some of the details there in the tree are still there. So it's not real, it's fake. But that's okay. We're having fun. All right. Press on the tick. Now we repeat that process where we go to the history tool, view edits, okay, and now we're doing that second process that we did. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to mask it. So 100% for the sky. Okay. And then what I like to do when I'm doing this sort of process is tap on the eye icon. And now we can see where we're applying it. Okay. Because I want this to be gradual from distance to closer that's starting to go out of focus, I'll then go to 75%. Okay. Give it a swipe across there. 75. 50%. Whoop, I just tapped on the blue bar there, the blue box. Okay, so 50%, 25%, and then I'm back to back to 0. So I might want to leave that path in there. There we go. Take out the eye icon. How cool does that look? So we've got that stuff in the background. The distance is blurred, and yes, there is a blur tool inside Snapseed. I reckon this works better. I really do. The blur tool is great, but it just looks smoother. It doesn't look like you've thrown, blurring. Is that me blurring or what we're doing? No, you're answering the question. Thank you. Yes. See, there's the lag. My gosh, it's a long lag, isn't it, Sally? All right. Alrighty. So. You know what? I was playing around because I've been delivering a lot of workshops lately through Zoom, and the setup that I have, it deliberately has a half second, 500 milliseconds delay, which is okay because when I'm doing something like this using this system, what it does is when it transfers everything online, it takes the audio from the same system, pairs it, and then it goes through. So what you're seeing now is hopefully perfectly synced. But with Zoom, what it does is it takes the video into the computer and my audio goes into the computer because they don't talk together and go in at the same time. Yeah, and when I explain to people at the start of the webinar or the workshop that, hey, I'm slightly out with my audio, but let's move on. So that's why with YouTube it's fantastic, it's synchronized, but there is that lag. So it's either a 30-second lag between you me saying something and you receiving it at your end, or there's a half-second delay with me talking and then the audio coming through. And I find that, for me, I find that really tiring and frustrating. So this is good. All right. So here we go. So now I press the tick. Okay. So now we can go. There's the original photo, and there's the end photo. And look at that. That's really cool. And what I did there was, because I really sharpened the details in the front there, down the bottom here, I really cranked it up at the bottom here. So there's the before, there's the after. What that's done is that's created a real contrast now between, whoa, look at the sharpness, and then it goes to out of focus. So if I didn't do that foreground first, okay, well, AirPods are connected, okay. I'm trying to do this early in the day so that doesn't happen, but anyway. Alrighty, and then we go to there, okay, before and after. So yes, the background is blurred, but yeah, it's much better when you kind of sharpen that foreground first. Alrighty, okay, so I think that pretty much wraps it up for that one. Just get rid of that little icon down the bottom there. Oh, I'm geeking out on all this. It's fantastic. Tomorrow we're going to cover, where's my list? Let's have a look, my list. What have we got? Tomorrow, unique perspective. Okay. Do you know what? I think we've already covered that. I'm going to throw in a bonus. Let's go Dutching. Let's go Dutch angle. All right, tomorrow we're going to talk about Dutch angle, and I'll fill in another day somewhere else with something. So that sounds good. So thanks for joining me, guys. Thanks for tolerating all my issues that I've been having. Hopefully today was a bit smoother, a bit better. Yes, there is that lag where I ask a question and then it takes a while for it to come through, but that's just me. I like to engage with you, so your answers will come through in a little while, and that's totally okay. So with that, thanks, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Going to be here 7 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Yes, that's the time zone we're in now. Daylight savings is finished, so I'll enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you then. See ya.